A post on Our Personal Finance went viral earlier this year. The title read, "My car insurance jumped $900 a year. 0 accidents, 0 tickets, 0 claims." My agent finally told me why. My own car had been reporting my driving behavior to my insurance company for 2 years without my knowledge. I never signed up for any monitoring program. I never gave anyone permission. My car did it for me. The comment section erupted. GM vehicle owners posted the exact same story, same unexplained premium increase, same clean record, same 0 consent. This is not a data breach. This is not a hack. This is General Motors running a deliberate surveillance operation from inside vehicles their customers thought they owned, and they sold the data directly to the companies that set your insurance rates. Today, we are exposing the OnStar SPI trap. We are going to show you exactly how GM enrolled millions of drivers into a covert data collection program called Smart Driver without meaningful consent. We are going to show you the specific companies that bought that data, how they packaged it, and how it ended up raising your insurance premium without you ever knowing your own vehicle was the informant. And we are going to show you what smart drivers are doing right now to make sure this never happens to them again. Here is what actually happened. And it is documented. This is not a theory. This is not speculation. In March 2024, the New York Times published a full investigative report on a covert data sharing program running inside General Motors vehicles equipped with OnStar. The program was called Smart Driver. General Motors enrolled OnStar subscribers into Smart Driver through consent language buried inside a multi-page digital terms of service agreement. Not a separate form, not a clear opt-in checkbox. A paragraph inside a scrollable legal document that the vast majority of customers never read and were never verbally informed about at the dealership. Once enrolled, Smart Driver collected your driving behavior. Every hard brake, every rapid acceleration, every instance of speed above the limit, every trip, every mile, time-stamped, GPS tagged, and transmitted to General Motors servers in real time from the cellular modem hardwired into your vehicle. GM then packaged that behavioral data and sold it to 2 companies, LexisNexis Risk Solutions and Verisk Analytics. These are not small operations. LexisNexis Risk Solutions is one of the largest insurance data providers on Earth, and Verisk Analytics processes risk data for the majority of personal auto insurers in the United States. When GM sold your driving behavior to LexisNexis and Verisk, those companies added it to your insurance risk profile. Your insurer pulled that profile at renewal. If your data showed hard braking or rapid acceleration, your premium went up. Not because you filed a claim, not because you caused an accident, because your own vehicle reported on you. A driver named OnStar Betrayed 2022 posted a detailed breakdown on a Chevy Tahoe owners forum that spread across the automotive community. He said he called LexisNexis and requested his consumer report. What came back was 258 pages. It contained his exact GPS coordinates for every trip he took over the last 24 months, his exact speed at every recorded point, and every hard brake flagged with a timestamp. His insurance company had all of it before they mailed him his renewal quote. He paid $58,000 for that Tahoe. He was never told it was tracking him. He found out when his premium jumped $1,100 in 1 year. A 258-page consumer driving record tied to a vehicle he had paid $58,000 for that he thought he owned. You might think this was an isolated program affecting a small slice of subscribers. Think again. A New York Times investigation documented that millions of OnStar connected vehicles from General Motors were generating behavioral data through the Smart Driver program across the full Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, and Cadillac lineup. Millions of drivers had their movements, their speed patterns, their braking habits, and their location history collected, packaged, and sold to companies whose entire business model depends on finding reasons to charge you more. Here is the detail that proves beyond any doubt this was not an oversight. General Motors did not notify customers when their data was sold. General Motors did not notify customers when their premiums increased. General Motors did not provide a clear mechanism to see what had been collected. General Motors did not provide a clear mechanism to delete what had already been sold. The program ran silently, It generated revenue for General Motors from the data brokers. It generated premium increases for the insurance companies. And the driver behind the wheel paid for all of it without ever knowing the transaction had taken place. LexisNexis confirmed to the New York Times that it had received driving data from General Motors. Verisk confirmed the same. Both companies sell that data to insurance underwriters as part of a product called a consumer driving report. Your name, your behavior, your policy number, your renewal rate, all connected, all sold. None of it disclosed to you before you signed at the dealership. You might think that once this was exposed, regulators stepped in and stopped it. They did not. The FTC issued no fine. The NHTSA issued no mandate. No executive at General Motors was charged with anything. General Motors quietly announced it had paused the smart driver data sharing in March 2024, the same month the Times story published. Not because a regulator forced them, because the public relations damage became too expensive to absorb. The program did not end because it was illegal. It ended because it got caught. And now here is the part that matters if you do not drive a GM vehicle, because you are not safe either. The automotive data broker ecosystem does not run on GM vehicles alone. Honda, Hyundai, Ford, and Stellantis all operate connected vehicle programs with cellular modems transmitting behavioral data from their fleets. All have terms of service containing consent language for data sharing. All have existing relationships with data broker ecosystems that feed directly into insurance underwriting systems. Hyundai's Connected Services Agreement contains consent language for sharing vehicle data and vehicle usage information with third parties, including insurance providers. Ford's Connected Services terms include consent for sharing driving characteristics data with service providers and business partners. The language is different. The outcome is identical. A mechanic named Data Freedom Wrench posted on a technician forum. Every connected vehicle built after 2015 has an always-on cellular modem. That modem is not there for your convenience. It is there because the data it collects is worth more to the manufacturer than the hardware costs to install it. You are not the customer. You are the product, and your insurance premium is the invoice. He is right. And every new connected vehicle on the road is running the same business model, whether the logo on the hood says Chevrolet, Ford, Hyundai, or Ram. Here is the financial math that makes this impossible to ignore. The average American pays over $2,300 per year for auto insurance in 2025. A 30% behavioral data surcharge costs that driver an extra $700 per year. Over a 5-year ownership cycle, that is $3,500. On a vehicle, they are still paying off. Meanwhile, the manufacturer collects revenue from the data broker that caused the increase. You are paying for the vehicle. You are paying for the connected services subscription. You are paying the higher premium caused by the data that subscription collected. The manufacturer profits at every step. You pay at every step. None of those steps were disclosed clearly before you signed the purchase agreement. So here is what smart drivers are doing right now. They are requesting their consumer report from LexisNexis. Search online for LexisNexis Consumer Report Request. Federal law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act entitles every American to a free copy of their consumer report. What comes back will show exactly what driving data has been collected on you and which companies have already accessed it. They are doing the same with Verisk by requesting their CLUE report, the Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange file, which is the second major data pipeline insurers use to set your rates. If you live in California, Virginia, Colorado, or Texas, your state consumer privacy law gives you the legal right to request full deletion of data collected about you by these brokers. You have standing. Use it. And for their next vehicle purchase, smart buyers are targeting trucks from before 2015. Vehicles built before, always-on cellular telematics became standard equipment across the industry. Trucks where the only data a manufacturer can access requires a mechanic to physically plug a scanner into the OBD2 port. Nothing wireless, nothing transmitted, nothing packaged, nothing sold. A forum user named Privacy First Mechanic wrote last spring that they pull the OnStar fuse on every vehicle they have owned since 2018. Yes, it throws a fault code. Yes, it disables certain features. They would rather have a fault code on their dash than have a corporation selling a transcript of everywhere they drove for the last 2 years to a company that uses it to raise their premium. The fault code costs them nothing. The data costs them hundreds of dollars a year. That is not paranoia. That is math. General Motors built the OnStar spy trap because they understood that the vehicle was only the beginning of the revenue stream. The data your vehicle generates across the years of ownership is worth more to them than the margin on the original sale. They want you in a connected vehicle. They want you subscribed to their services. They want you driving while their servers log every mile, every break, every turn, and sell that record to a company whose job is to find reasons to charge you more money. They counted on you never finding out. You just did. Have you requested your LexisNexis consumer report and found vehicle tracking data inside it? Did your insurance premium jump without any explanation? Sound off in the comments because your documentation is the evidence that turns this from a news story into a federal case. If you refuse to let your own vehicle be used as a surveillance device against your own wallet, hit the subscribe button and join the resistance. Keep the old iron running. Keep turning your own wrenches, and we will see you in the next one.